I'm reading on a forum for buyers and for sellers, not necessarily buyers, just sellers, online sellers. So somebody posted, buyer requested a refund, but I don't have the funds. I was curious what happens. Somebody purchased something from me and it didn't fit him. It's an extra large sweater. Currently, it's December 22nd, 2022, and it's cold, even in California. I'm in California, and he's in California too. So it's apparently some unique type vintage stuff. We went through a long process of purchasing it that we won't get into right now, but finally he has it with him, the sweater. Very impressed, actually. He paid on the 20th, and I shipped it that same day. Granted, he's also in California, but still, it's USPS. It's not Amazon. He received it already, and he's getting ready to send it back to me already on the 22nd. That's wild, right? Now, I said to him, you can start your return process. That's not a problem. So he does, and when you do, I know on eBay they put your funds on hold. The amount. So if you sold something for $100, they'll put, and you have maybe $200 waiting to clear, then they will, depending on how often you get paid, whatever. But if you have pending $200 and somebody wants to return an item that costs $100, then 100 of those $200 will be put on hold for that refund. Of course, the item has to be sent in my type of refund because everybody's terms and conditions are different. I do accept returns. So in my case, you would have to send the thing until it gets to me, and then I'd have to inspect it, and then your funds, then I can approve it, and eBay will clear out your funds to you. Everybody's, like I said, mileage differs. Anyway, so far I've only had, oh my gosh, only a few returns, and they have all, the items have been in the same condition that I had sent the item to the customer in. Now, I don't know why somebody would want to waste their time anyway, because if in order for them to get the funds, I have to approve of the item. So why would you even go through all that process if you knew that you messed with the item? Now, here's the deal, and just another sidebar. All the items, has it? I think one of them. Was one of them too big? I think so, actually. But the other ones have been too small. Here we go. Buyer requested a refund. I don't have the funds. I was curious what happens when you purchase an item, when you want to return an item, and sorry, I'm kind of tempted to restart recording the whole thing all over again. But I apologize that I'm kind of all over the place in the beginning. I hope you didn't leave and that you're still here. And if you are, thank you. I was curious what happens when somebody doesn't have the funds to be placed on hold. Like I said, the funds will be returned to the customer once you receive the actual item. So you, at least in my case, like with this guy, I guess I have 24 hours because that's how long it took for him to get the package. So I have at least 24 hours. In other cases, it might take like 4 days or even longer. Let's say somebody from New York and I'm in California. Then you have at least that amount of time to raise the funds in order, to have them available on eBay for when this person's return is ready to be taken to the next level. So I was like, I wonder what happens, because I know like at least one person who will beg, steal, and murder to make sure that they will not return your item. They will not let you return anything to them, because as soon as that money clears in their account, they're paying some kind of a bill. And, I'm not judging, I'm just saying. And if you sell online or you're in this kind of business, or just in life in general, just try to manage your finances better. I know it's hard for a lot of people. It's not easy for me either. But I've always thought that there has to be some kind of a way where you're not in such a corner. Like if you can't afford your 2-bedroom place that you live in, maybe you shouldn't be living in a 2-bedroom place. Maybe you should be living in a 1.5 or 1 bedroom. And if you can't afford your 1 bedroom, maybe you should downsize to a studio. If you can't afford a studio, maybe you should share a studio. You see what I'm saying? Or sleep on a couch somewhere and just pay for that place. Yes, there's no privacy or whatever. You know what you get what I'm saying. I'm not saying, go and rent a couch somewhere if you have 7 children. But you catch what I'm throwing. Okay, enough with the lecture. Christmas time. By the way, hi everybody. My name is Babala Brooke, and here we go. Buyer requested a refund, but I don't have the funds. And then this is the body of the post. I recently sold some dog food. Usually when I receive payment, the money goes to my PayPal account and it is put on hold. However, the money was immediately ready to use. I then used that money to pay off some bills. When the buyer got the packages, they didn't get the right quantity because I misadvertised the wrong amount. They're requesting a return and refund, but I don't have the funds to do it. What should I do? I'm new to this. So many concerns already, right? Now, here's the first response. If you don't want to provide a label for the return, then you will need to issue a refund. If the funds aren't in your PayPal account, then they will be debited from your backup funding source. Of course, this person is assuming the original poster doesn't have funds in PayPal, but maybe they have funds in their bank account. But you can't make that assumption. Here comes OP. Is that what they call OP, original post? I have insignificant funds on my backup too. And then somebody else responds, if your backup source is your bank, it will either cause your bank account to be in the negative, or if the bank doesn't cover it, then your PayPal might be in the negative. Someone else says, have you offered your buyer a partial refund to account for the missing product? This would seem to be a better course of action than returning all of the dog food to you. I agree. So apparently there was an error in the listing. Let's say this is on eBay. There was an error in the listing that the amounts were not what you actually are going to be getting, which is, I don't even want to call that a rookie mistake. It's just tough that they made that mistake. And when the customer received what they thought they should be getting and realized that it's not, it looks like they don't even want to deal with this person altogether. Because you would think that maybe they would have been, okay, so maybe I got less than what I expected. Can I get a refund? Maybe a partial refund. This is what this person is suggesting. Instead of, okay, give me money. Let me ship all of this stuff back to you. Now you out the money that you ship this stuff to me for, and the money that I'm shipping the stuff back to you for. And you're making $0 because I don't want this item. And I'm going to, it's right? It doesn't look like a solution-driven process that they're all going through here. Someone else says, to the part that I have insignificant funds on my backup too. Someone says that is unfortunate. PayPal will always cover the buyer in these cases. So if you can't pay them, they will follow you for it until they turn it over to collection. Won't be good for credit score. In brackets, if you scare, brackets being parentheses. Here is the one that made me laugh. It's not even funny, but it made me laugh. You certainly have created a big mess for yourself. I mean, of course. I'm like, wow. It's like so confrontational, right? Like, okay. I'm sorry your start on eBay isn't going very well. I see your buyer gave you a negative feedback too. That'll hurt your selling account for a long time to come. 1 second, please. Excuse me. I don't have like anything to clear in my throat. My voice isn't fully back since 2 months ago when I had a flu or whatever the heck that was. I had a flu back to back. I understand you don't have the funds to cover the refund. Your buyer has to return the items first before you need to refund. So your immediate problem is coming up with enough money to pay for the return shipment of the products. Then, while you're waiting for the items being returned to arrive, you can see if you can borrow some money from someone to cover what you need to refund this buyer. Or maybe you will get lucky and make a few sales in the meantime to cover what you need to refund your buyer. I do hope this works out for you. By the way, I think you will still have problems on your dog food listings. Why do you start the title with number 2? According to your written description, it is for 1 bag of dog food. Your title appears to say you get 2. Why don't you put the 17 pounds in your title instead of being silent on the size of the package? And no offense, but your pricing on a 17 pound is more than twice as much as a 50 pound bag from Walmart site. I'm not at all trying to be disrespectful to you. I tell you what, this thing, it made me laugh so hard. 7 people found it helpful. Somebody else says, may I suggest that you sell something in a hurry? Well, wouldn't we all like to sell something in a hurry? Shit. Someone else says, realize that you also really need to have funds available for 180 days for possible refunds to buyers who may file claims with PayPal. What? And then here comes OP. Thanks for the help. No offense taking, meaning taken. Good to hear, as none was intended. You need a little help, and I understand that. You have gotten yourself in quite a pickle. Have you responded to your buyer's request for return and authorized the return and had eBay issue a return label yet? If you haven't, you need to do that right away. You only have a certain amount of time to do that, and I'm confident your time is rapidly running out. Why is this person, just the way this person words things, doesn't feel passive aggressive. It just feels, I don't know, it stings. I would hate to be in a fight with this person. Soon your buyer will be able to escalate it to eBay and have eBay determine what will happen. This will further damage your selling account. Now somebody else comes back and highlights the part that says when the buyer got the packages, they did not get the right quantity because I misadvertised the wrong amount. And now this person responds to that part I just read. You have the same listing running right now and haven't changed the title. This is so funny to me. All that changed was the weight of the bags, 50 pounds down to 17 pounds. Do you expect a different outcome with the next sale? You come here looking for help about return and refund, and you also got good advice about the listing title, but you still left it the way it was. That is causing your problem. Your last photo in the listing shows two 17-pound bags side by side. So going by that and the title, a buyer would expect 34 pounds of dog food. The The other part is, why would I spend $45 with you for one 17-pound bag of dog food when I can buy a 20% more, 20 in parentheses, 20.4-pound bag for 14.01? What? From a different seller. That's 40.8 pounds for $28.02. Since your old listing has make offer, I have no idea what you accepted. If it was sold with the offer or with the $55.99, buy it now. You said when you, in quotes, when the buyer got the packages, end quote. So I take that as they bought more than one bag. Sorry, I just read the negative feedback for the first time. The buyer, I don't know why this is funny to me. I don't know if it's the fact that the commenters have so much time that they went in there, they read everything, and they're dissecting it, which is great. Actually, I don't know what is, actually, I'll tell you, I know what's funny. What is so funny to me, it always tickles me to learn about people who deal with frustrating situations that I find frustrating. It's always funny watching somebody else handle it. That's always entertaining to me. People who are dealing with psychopaths, sociopaths, narcissists, the kind of stuff that irks me, because as you know, I have a lot of pet peeves. So whenever it's something that I find so frustrating, if I see it happening to somebody, I like to watch the person that it's happening to and just study their reaction. And it makes me laugh so hard, always. It's one of the reasons I like crime shows, watching police talk to liars, because a lot of these criminals are not necessarily liars, but they're criminals. Or they're not necessarily like career criminals or anything, but they did something and they're trying to get out of it. So there's going to be a lot of made up stories in there. So you're watching this guy make up a story, trying to get himself out of this pickle, fighting for their lives, so to speak, and this cop trying to catch them and trying to show them, no, you're lying. It's so entertaining to me. It is so amazing. And maybe, I don't know. You said when your buyer got the packages, so I take that they bought more than one bag. Sorry, I just read the negative feedback for the first time. The buyer bought, I hope this is not my new freaking voice. I need my clear voice back. The buyer bought 400 pounds of dog food and you sent them 136 pounds. Wait, why would you send her? Oh, it's a mistake. Fuck. How much did these people pay for shipping all of this? I don't know how much dog food weighs, but dang. Wait, that was a blonde moment right there. I apologize. And I apologize to the blondes, because obviously you're smarter than this. I'm like, how much did they pay? Yeah, actually, this is not. I'm like, how much did they pay? But like 136 pounds. That's a lot. I'm trying to imagine, like, size-wise, how big that must look. No pun intended. Did you send 2, 4, 6, or 8 packages? Out of curiosity, did you box up the bags or just slap shipping labels on them? At this point, if it were me, I would beg or borrow the money needed to make the buyer whole. I have no idea how much it costs to ship 136 pounds broken up into packages if they were shipped that way, priority mail, but you will end up eating the shipping cost both ways. Fudge. I've never had to deal with a return as a seller, so I don't know if it gets returned the same way as it was shipped, priority there and priority back. I don't know. I would also stop selling on this ID and start a new one to sell on. As stated earlier, that negative isn't going to look good for buyers. Just remember, with a new selling ID, I believe they put a hold on the money. I would be wrong, and if I am, I'm sure that someone will be along to correct me. These people are so kind and so generous with their time and advice for this person. Someone else says, what sense does it make to ship a low value, high weight product like dog food? Thank you. You sold 100 pounds worth of $55 with free shipping. I can't imagine it will cost less than $55 to ship it across the country. So that was that. I did go to this. I like when I read these types of things to go to the shops of the people commenting. The one who made me laugh at first, who's no offense taken and whatever, has 20,000 ratings, feedback. If somebody has 20,000 feedbacks, they sold a lot of things, because only a fraction of people will give you feedback. So if you have 20,000, for all you know, this person sold to like 50,000 people, or maybe even 100,000. And I went into their page. They sell things, really random stuff. I mean, it's not that random because the store specializes in it, but it's like kind of random to me. They sell like, I don't know, like knitting patterns, crochet pattern, and something like, oh, Japanese doll pattern. It's not an actual Japanese doll. It's not crocheted one. It's like a pattern. It's just like, to me, that's like so random. And it'll say 35 sold. I'm like, what? So they sell those kinds of things. And then the other one sells, do I even know? No, nothing. And the original poster has one item for sale currently, a Canon camera set type deal for $600. So I don't know what the deal is there. I don't know if that's a going rate for it, because it just sounds like so much money. I'm like, oh my God, don't tell me this person is broke again and it's Christmas time and they're selling probably the most valuable thing that they have. Oh man, that just made me so sad now thinking about that. I hope they'll be okay. That's probably what's going on though. They're just selling that one item. But they did get a bunch of good reviews. They have one negative review, and maybe they have like about 6 total reviews. One being negative, probably from the person, case in point in case. What is it? Case in point. And what does that even mean? Case in point. And then they have all like positive reviews, but those positive ones are from sellers giving her feedback as a good buyer. I personally, I don't mind like if people I bought from don't give me reviews, especially, I don't know, I just never really cared that much, especially as a seller. People who I buy from, if they give me reviews, that's really nice. I really appreciate it, etc. And it actually really puts a smile on my face. It's like one of my favorite things to do. When I realize, oh, I have a couple more, then I'll go in there and I'll read them. And they usually really put a smile on my face. People who really put a lot of thought in the thing, even if it's just 1 line or 2 lines. But it's really like thoughtful stuff. Or one of my recent ones was a person who bought a Grinch pajama top. And they said they actually have a pajama bottom that they were just wearing with whatever on top. So when they found my top, They love it, and it matches the bottom, and now they have it as a set, and they're so happy. It made my heart smile just hearing that. You see, it's like thoughtful, because they're happy, and you're happy they're happy. So I always love hearing that kind of stuff. Another lady was like, I love this shade of pink so much. That's nice, right? Because it's like, oh, like you never know, like you're just taking a picture as close to what the thing looks like in real life as possible. And, they take a chance based on those reviews. So it's nice to have them as a seller. And it gives people confidence in your store. I think it's, yeah, it works. So that's why, like, I can tell somebody, yeah, you can just make the purchase as soon as it's cleared. I will refund you this, that, and the other, and it will go back to the amount that you negotiated for and whatever. You can say stuff like that because I have hundreds of reviews. Actually, do I? I don't know. I definitely have a decent amount. So now I'm like, yeah, and then I'll do this and that and that. Between the fact that we have it in writing, so if I don't do what I said, they can chase after me. The fact that I have about 1,500 items listed, like I'm not going to be trying to close my store anytime soon, trying to run away with your $3. Literally, that's how much it is that I'm talking about. And then you can see my reviews. Like, I'm not somebody who runs away with people's money and all that. So it does help. But as somebody who sells, I'm not super into, like, if I buy something from somebody and they want to come here, and because my account I consider it a selling account, and I don't need for people to know, like, the kind of stuff that I buy, even if it's packaging items or whatever. It's fine. Like, don't give me a review. I'm okay, thanks. Like, whatever. Send me a message if you want. But I'm not somebody who's gonna go there and say, oh, you didn't. Can you please give me a review and all that? Or who cares? Even the customers who buy from me, some of them, once in a blue moon, they'll send me a message directly and thank me. And I appreciate that. Just anybody who takes their time to thank me, I appreciate it. But I'm not the person, like on Facebook. Oh, I think that I've sold more items on Facebook than I did on eBay. Based on, I don't know, based on what. But also there was a time I was just strictly selling on Facebook and would just have like a few items listed, maybe 2 items per day listed on eBay. I, at one point, had 500 more items on Facebook than on eBay. Now, actually, I think that stands because it came to a point where I just listed across both sites. My store name is The Lovely Brook on both sides. And I do international shipping. So if you purchase on anywhere, I'll just do international shipping. But it's easier on eBay. Anyway, it came to a point where I just listed both sides with those 500 more on Facebook. So I have about 1,500 now on eBay, which means, and I have like 1,900, what is it? 1,900 and something, just under 2,000 on Facebook. Of course, I'm selling on a daily basis, but whatever I sell, I cross delete, just like a cross list. So there's that. Actually, blah, 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 right? All right, let me go and watch the rest of this show. I've been binging a show called I Am a Killer, because that's what you do, right? You watch crime shows. Like, I'll watch that thing in the middle of the night. I'll watch it first thing in the morning. It's good. I Am Stalker is another good one. I believe it's Netflix shows. True crime, that's what I'm into. I Am Stalker, I enjoyed it probably more for whatever reason. And it's both I'm Stalker and I'm a Killer. It's interviews of people who are currently incarcerated. No, that's not true. I think they started off that way. I started from season 1, so I'm still on season 1 on I Am a Killer, but they are up to probably season 5. I don't know, but I'm starting on season 1, so I'm like episode 8 of that, and everyone's on death row. I've seen a lot of death row shows by that German guy. I don't think this is by him, but I don't know. It's possible that it is, where he would go and talk to people in death row, and just like, I've even watched like shows where they were killing people, just like literally injecting the guy, and the guy would say his final words, just like literally the whole last thing, and that tear that falls out of somebody's eye. I'm sorry if this is a trigger warning. And then you see the color of somebody, and then now the person's dead. I'm like, wow, this person was alive just now. That's wild. I Am Killer. I'm watching that now. Those people are still in death row. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but you just do an episode of what your crime was. A lot of them were incarcerated when they were in their teens, so that's wild. And now they spend more than double their time. I know the German guy was very against the death penalty, so I feel like I'm getting that same air even now in these productions. The stalker one, they're telling their story. They're still in prison, a lot of them, but some of them are now out. And it's like, wow, some of them don't even realize like they did something wrong. Even with the incarcerated ones on death row, some of them are just telling the story. You can see the excitement in their eyes, telling the story of how they ended up there. Like, I mean, it's capital punishment, so they killed somebody, and they're just telling the stories like it's like, oh, and then they're so excited. I remember, before I let you go, one last quickie. I remember is this thing recording? It looks like it is. I remember Moses Sitole, South African serial killer from back in the day. He got an erection when he talked. I think he got an erection when he was talking about the killings. There was a time when they interviewed him, and he was he in a, why do I think he was in a hospital bed? I think, and they said that he got an erection there when they were talking to him about the killings. You never know what's going to turn somebody on. Just be careful out there. Thanks for listening. I'm sorry for my voice. I'm also not in the studio, quote unquote, for some reason. It's cold, so it's like, I'm in bed with the heater, and I didn't plan on doing this. It's just spur of the moment because those comments just like made me laugh so hard. I'm at Babala Brook on all social media. Find me there. I have a blog, babalabrook.com, and I have a YouTube channel, also Babala Brook. Just look up #TruckerBrook. Like I said, my store is The Lovely Brook. Bye.